Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are in the world. I'm your host, Brian Samuel Opati, and welcome to Still Moments with Jesus. Thank you so much for joining us this week as we discuss the issue of Christian asceticism, otherwise known as Christian mysticism. Um, this is a subject that has often been overlooked in many Christian traditions and is one that we are trying to reclaim and find in our own traditions in this day and age, mostly because of the heart of the practices which it espouses, practices that were taken up by the early church and have since, for the most part, been forgotten, and are things that we feel here at Still Moments with Jesus are a great tool that lead us into healing, into wholeness, into fullness of understanding, not just ourselves, but in knowledge and understanding of the one who knows us, and that is God. So join us today as we look into the narrow and the hard way. And this reading comes from a desert father known as Ammonus. And he said, when he was once asked, "What is a narrow and hard way?" based off of Matthew chapter 7, verse 14. And he said, "The narrow and hard way is this, to control your thoughts, to strip yourself of your own will for the sake of God. This is also the meaning of the sentence, 'Lo, we have left everything and followed you.'" That's taken from Matthew chapter 19 from verse 27. Now, on this matter, um, a well-known writer on this and mystic slash ascetic himself, John Chrysaorchus, and we've talked about it a little bit this week, he goes on to say in his own writing titled "In the Heart of the Desert," he says, "If God is right there in the midst of our struggle, then our aim is to stay there. We are to remain in the cell, to stay on the road, not to forego the journey or forget the darkness. It is all too easy for us to overlook the importance of struggle, preferring instead to secure peace and rest, or presuming to reach the stage of love prematurely. It is always easier to allow things to pass by, to go on without examination and effort. Yet, struggling means living. It is a way of fully living life and not merely observing it. It takes much time and a great effort to unite the disparate, the disjointed, and divided parts of the self into an integrated whole. During this time and in this effort, the virtue of struggle was one of the non-negotiables of the spiritual way of the desert. The desert fathers and mothers speak to us with authority because they are in fact our fellow travelers. They never claim to have arrived. They never indicate having completed the journey. What's more is that these very desert elders teach us how to be in relationship with the multitude of chaotic impulses that distract our attention from the still point within us where God is present. This is why so few of us have the courage to enter the spirituality of the desert. Journeying toward God means fully showing up for our inner struggles, engaging with them fully, coming to terms with our wounds and inner divisions, and doing the hard, slow work of healing. Doing the hard and slow work of healing. I don't know how this is speaking to you today, but I believe there's something special in this particular point, that in running away from it, we do not find our hope. In ignoring it, in burying these thoughts somewhere else in the corners of our mind, we do not find hope. We do not find that safety and that security we need in our hearts, knowing that this is going to be taken care of. But rather, it is in confronting these very things that we find our point, our starting point of peace. I pray that you who's listening to me right now will find your peace, find joy, find yourself, and above all, find healing as you pursue this long and narrow road, because in it you will be found. Blessings. For this narrow and hard way, you do not journey alone. Peace.